It is on this parcel of land in Kahara village in Madera constituency, Nyeri, where Alan Root had to undertake an emergency landing owing to poor weather that impaired his vision, disabling him from flying any further. Root, who was flying his two sons to Banda School in Nairobi from Lewa, Laikipia, was visibly shaken but maintained that everything was under control.
We ran into cloud, which is often the case. Between Mount Kenya and the Aberdares, there's often very low cloud, which makes it dangerous for flying.
Ikagonga ile mti ile iko juu, ikapita hapo, ikaigia kwa kichaka ingine pale.
Hata ingeangukia nyumba yangu. Sasa ndio nyumba huyo pilot akacontrol.
A curious crowd of onlookers quickly gathered at the scene, perhaps the interest having been sparked off by the recent chopper crash that claimed the lives of two ministers.
This is quite normal. We've done this before, so I'm not that panicked.
Members of the public from this area pia walikuja mbio kuangalia kwa sababu ya mkasa wa juzi ambao ulifanyika kule Ngong, ulishtua watu wote karibu Kenya mzima.
The farm where the aircraft landed belongs to this lady, Mary Modoni, who, despite having her crop of arrowroots destroyed and a host of other plants stamped on by curious onlookers, said God had used her farm to save the lives of Root and his sons. However, a little compensation was discussed.
Hundreds of people have come to look at the helicopter. We didn't do any damage landing, but the crowd has trampled her crops, so we'll have to pay her, and then we can carry on.
Akanipatia hiyo kakitu kadogo. 750.
And when the clouds cleared, the chopper was able to take off and proceed with the journey. For the Root family, they are only too happy to have escaped miraculously, and what they are advising other pilots is to be careful, especially now that the weather conditions seem not so favorable for flying. Carol Derry for KTN in Madera East, Nyeri County.
The foul weather did little to ward off the crowd that had gathered to witness the unusual emergency landing at a farm in Madera constituency, Nyeri County. The aircraft, owned by renowned wildlife filmmaker Alan Root, which landed on the banks of River Kaireri, had two other passengers on board: his sons, 12-year-old Miles and 10-year-old Rory, who were en route to Banda School in Nairobi.
I live on the Lewa Conservancy, and we took off this morning to take the boys to school. The weather was fine, but when we got to the Karatina area, we ran into cloud, which is often the case. Between Mount Kenya and the Aberdares, there's often very low cloud, which makes it dangerous for flying. And we got to the point where we couldn't continue without endangering lives, so we landed in this little valley.
This is quite normal. We've done this before. It was quite scary because you can't see much and there are lots of wires, and if you get tangled in the wires, the helicopter can start spinning and you can crash.
Nilikuwa natayarisha mtoto aende shule. Sasa nikatoka kwa nyumba haraka nikisikia hiyo sauti. Nikiangalia huko juu nikaona kitu, hiyo ni ndege. Nikaona iko juu ya nyumba yangu.
Baba, I will have to compensate the lady for all the damage done to her sweet potato. Jaribu kuruka kama nashinda. We didn't do any damage landing, but the crowd has trampled her crops, so we'll have to pay her.
An hour later, and they would attempt to take off again on the call that the weather had cleared.
Tulijaribu kumzuia lakini akasema vile anaona weather iko sawa sawa anaweza enda. Ndio. Tulimwelezea lakini akasema anaona weather kama iko sawa. Na kama ataona pengine ni mbaya, basi anaweza rudi hapa tena.
However, his efforts to fly again were thwarted, and Root was forced to land again at a nearby area as the weather had not improved. The three family members escaped the incident with no injuries. Sally Milu, Citizen Live at 9.